that we need to read a book and we learn grammar through sentences.
Through sentences, yes. So if you want to learn the past tense, I went to the store yesterday. Okay, if you just remember that sentence, I went to the store yesterday, or I wanted to buy an apple, then you know what past tense is. And you think, how do I make that past tense? You think, oh, I went to the store yesterday, that's how it is. I wanted to buy an apple, that's how it is. So you can apply that to the sentence that you're trying to make. And this is really how children learn. Babies learn to speak their own language. They remember the sentences. They imitate the sounds that their parents make. They talk to people. So grammar, I studied English grammar very intensively, but it's not the rules that I remember. I remember better through the sound of the sentence. And when I try to think of the correct way to say something, there are sentences in my head that I remember that are examples, so I think that was the easiest way for me.
Some people, they told me before, grammar is not important, or grammar you don't worry about. You can make some mistake. How you think?
Well, of course you can make mistakes while you're learning, but if you want to speak naturally as a native speaker, you need to use the grammar correctly. But I do believe you can get used to the sound and you will expect what comes next or how to say something correctly through sentences. And that's when it's most memorable to me. But I disagree that grammar is not important. If your grammar is not correct, the person you're speaking to will have trouble understanding you. Yeah.
We need to use correct grammar.
Yes. Yes.
Because that is your good English.
Yes. I mean, why learn it poorly? Yeah, learn it correctly to start out with, and then it's easier to build on that. If you learn it poorly, you're going to be embarrassed to speak, and it's just going to make things harder for you.
You know, in Thai language, the way we learn from school and the way we speak sometimes is different. You understand? Example, L sound and R sound. You understand? In Thailand, when people speak, they do the same thing. You know, L and R. We have the sound when we speak the same. You understand?
I can hear it in my students. Yes.
R and L. In Thai, people they pronounce the same. I don't know. That when we speak.
Well, and so you just have to drill. You do it by repetition. You go over the hardest words, the ones with the L's in it, the ones with the V's in it, the ones with the R's in it, and just as kind of a warm-up to study, you say these words. And this would be a place where recording yourself might be very useful, because sometimes you hear what you want to hear when you're speaking, if you know what I mean. You want to say it correctly, so in your mind you did, but then you hear your own voice and it wasn't correct. So you know what you have to do to make it right. And that will make you more comfortable when you speak, more confident. But again, when you make a mistake, just forget it and move on. Keep talking.
Your idea, your opinion, grammar is important.
Very.
Yeah, you need to correct a grammar. Okay. Grammar, the rule of language. And next question, you know, before we talk about speaking, is okay, grammar, and next, how to improve writing. Some handwriting, you know, some students, their handwriting look very nice. Some handwriting, you know, some students, they have handwriting really bad. Do you have any idea?
Well,
to improve
that goes for
writing?
everybody in every country. I think we move too quickly and forget how it's really supposed to look. Practice. You have to have an example. Handwriting can be found on the internet. Write things and have somebody else read it. Make sure they can read it. I think it's very hard to read people's handwriting worldwide, including my own. But it's all about practice and having somebody check your work.
Some people handwriting, you know, people cannot read. Oh, your handwriting look terrible. I can read. I cannot read. Someone said like that.
Yes, yes.
Because, you know, they write really, really fast.
Yes, so everything
quickly.
gets kind of flattened out. Well, practice and having somebody check your work. If you hand it to someone and they can't read it, you have to start over again.
My handwriting.
Oh, yours is quite good. I can read everything. Yes.
I like. Okay.
Some people are very artistic and they can imitate, you know, good handwriting.
For me, handwriting, I need my handwriting look nice. I practice.
Very clear.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the last topic, I want to ask you how to remember vocabulary.
Okay. When I was in grammar school and I had to memorize words, I had to learn English words. They used to say, read the word, say the word, write the word. And the reason they did it 3 different ways is that some people learn by hearing, some people learn by seeing, and some people learn by saying. And for me, I needed to write the word down. And it was the physical action of writing the word down that helped me memorize it. Vocabulary is something that you have to work at. It is often easier to remember the meaning of a word in a sentence. So when you see the word, say the word, write the word, then write the word in a sentence. And I believe that will help you. Vocabulary is very important. You have to work at it every day. I believe you have to read to memorize, to learn vocabulary. And when you read something and you come upon a word that you don't understand, underline it, stop right there, look it up. I often read with a dictionary by my side. If you skip over the word, you won't come back to it. And when I went into college, we had to take tests, and my vocabulary was rated very highly, and it was because I looked up every word in my reading that I didn't understand. So that I think is very important. I also think that reading above what you think your level is, something harder than you think you can, is important. If you read something that you understand immediately, you don't learn anything. So try something a little harder, challenge yourself, look up every word you don't understand, write it down, and then go over that list of words that you found in your reading until you understand those words. That's my vocabulary.
Advice how to learn how to improve vocabulary, how to remember vocabulary. The first thing you see, right? See the word, right? Write the word, right? We speak the word.
Yes.
Yeah, a good way to remember.
That's what worked for me. And then looking up everything that you don't understand in your reading and writing that down. Make a list that you can go over later and go over it.
You come to Thailand, you are a volunteer teacher.
Yes.
And you teach in the classroom, you teach English in the classroom. You find some problem, you see some problem when you join, the class with Thai student. What's the problem you see in the classroom when you teach Thai student?
Some people are afraid of making a mistake, so it's hard for them to speak. I mean, they should know that teachers don't care. Teachers are happy for you to say anything. I think also what the pronunciation, what you spoke of before, the L's, the V's, the R's,